Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the TripleJump podcast. It's a video game podcast. My name is Ben.
And my name is Ashton.
Where the bloody hell is he now?
He's on his holidays. He's in the beautiful town of Bath.
He's gone to Bath.
Yeah.
Oh, that man.
With his wife.
He's terrified of planes, isn't he?
Yeah, he
will not go abroad.
Just loves to drive around this country. He's
It's a long way
obsessed with the
well.
M1. He's obsessed with it.
He loves it. He loves the Southwest, as Peter. He's got his holiday plops. Unfortunately, he's not here with us this week. It's so cold in this room.
It's freezing. I have a hot water bottle right now because I am so cold.
Yeah.
Because I have made a pact not to wear a hoodie on stream for a little while because
really?
the last 2 podcasts, I've worn the exact same hoodie. Like so much that I was clicking back and forth between the two looking for something. I was like, just keep showing me the same one.
Why
but
are they
no,
the same?
we've just been dressed the exact same 2 weeks straight. So I'm determined not to wear a hoodie anymore. So I'm relying very much on this hot water bottle, but it's really pulling its weight.
I'm a big culprit of that because Thursdays I cycle in, and
Yeah.
so I wear this track jacket and tracksuit bottoms combo every single Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's just the t-shirt that changes, and sometimes the t-shirt's the same.
Yeah. Or it's just like black t-shirt with logo and you can't actually tell
Exactly.
what it is.
Big news though, because this is the final podcast of November, which means next month we'll be wearing
Christmas
Christmas
time.
jumpers, and that will differentiate it a little bit.
Well, I only have one Christmas jumper, so
Right.
it actually won't for me.
I've got
maybe I'll
3.
have to do different things with my hair so I can tell it's a different
There you go.
week.
Hat some week.
Yeah.
Some weeks. I've got 3,
I do
so
like
it
the
should be good.
Cindy Lou Who hair.
Just go mental with it. Completely change
Come
it
in one
week to
day and
week.
just don't even address it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is our video game podcast. Welcome along. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thanksgiving. Is it Thanksgiving?
Yes, it is Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate in the North Americas. Hope you're having a wonderful meal and that you get on with your family.
Good luck.
Thumbs up. And each and every week, Ashton,
Yes.
there's a very real video game adjacent sponsor. Helps us keep the bulb on, the light on in this room.
Yeah.
Nearly didn't turn
Nearly
on
didn't
today,
come
I
on
was telling
today.
you. Turned it on. There were at least 4 seconds where it was
It's because the
darkness.
sponsor was really last minute and late. So
Oh,
that's
right.
probably why, because it
So
hadn't
we've
heard about
only
the
just
sponsor.
put some money in the generator.
Yeah,
Money in the
exactly.
generator? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
sure.
What's the sponsor this week, please?
So you may know that there is a game coming out very, very soon. That's all about it's called the coziest open world game, and you
Infinity Nikki?
yes, that's the one.
Okay.
And you get to like dress up and explore the world with little creatures, and it's really cute. Well, they've kind of also tried to make like something for the other people, the uncoziest open world game, where you are stuck in one outfit forever. The little creatures are just kind of a lot grosser,
Right.
and the world's like not really that nice.
It's called Podcasts on a Thursday.
It's called Podcast on a Thursday. No, it's called Infinity Sticky.
Oh.
So the world's like really sticky.
I already hate that.
And like all the little creatures like have runny noses and stuff.
Oh,
and
no.
like it's really gross. And it's like supposed to be for people who think Infinity Nikki's like too much for girls. This is
right.
like
There's
the
Infinity Sticky.
Infinity Sticky's
That's
like
horrid.
yeah, really gross.
So does this have like negative 5 million beta signups?
Yeah. This
Right,
has
okay.
like everyone who like didn't sign up to it is signed
It's
up
automatically
to Infinity
drafted.
Sticky.
So
yeah.
it's actually got like
It's
several
got
billions.
billions and billions of sign-ups because everyone who didn't sign up to Infinity Nikki has to play Infinity
I'm
Sticky.
sorry, was there not enough space for joy in your life that
Yeah.
you could sign up for the Infinity Nikki beta?
So
well,
now you're a sticky boy or
you've
girl
been
or
drafted
whatever.
to the Sticky army,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Lucky for me, I'm in Team Nikki. So
I think I also signed up. I can't remember.
Yeah, so yeah, Infinity Sticky is coming next week as well, same time as Infinity Nikki. Sorry
Wow,
about it.
sucks for you
You're
guys.
gonna get sticky. Apart from it's not real, so you're safe.
Oh, well,
You're safe.
that's lucky. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not sad that doesn't exist.
Yeah, because it sounds really gross.
Yeah,
right?
that would be bad. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
No.
Well, we're not sponsored by Infinity Sticky. We are actually sponsored by wonderful patrons over at patreon.com/Team TripleJump. If you go there and support us, you get access to loads of stuff, including asking questions on this podcast, early access to rules. Hang on, which one? Early access to worst games and weirdest games.
Yes,
That's it.
you got it.
I usually present this with my arms down. I feel weird that they're
Yeah.
crossed because I'm trying to keep my
You
fingers
do like
warm.
you're really grumpy.
Patreon. Early access to worst and weirdest game. There we are. That feels more natural.
Mm-hmm.
And exclusive access to episodes of Rules Boss and Main Menu. All the stuff from SMTJ Live, which we'll talk about in a minute, that was pre-recorded has gone up on Patreon now. So that's preserved there in high quality, including an extended version of the episode of Main Menu that was split up and played throughout SMTJ Live. And we've replaced the Patreon exclusive shirts at the appropriate tier with this wonderful number right here. Ooh, it is. Do you want to describe it?
It's a picture frame in which you can find a plectrum, or a pic is what I thought it was called until everyone started saying it was the word plectrum.
I think both.
Of a lovely Billy Ray plectrum, and also an actual piece of the actual felt that was used to create Billy. It's a bit of a different colour because Billy has faded over time.
Billy's faded, and you can also see super glue and it's like, through the top of him.
So Billy's like, he's greying, you know, but this is the actual felt that's been in your house.
Yeah, I had it in a drawer for it. I moved around the country with it,
and it just keeps coming around. Yeah,
it just sat in my drawer.
We decided to like give a piece of Billy to you. It also has a Billy Ray signature on it, which Peter has promised that when he watches Billy do it in the future, we'll ensure it's more central.
Yes,
because this one's a bit wonky because it was done.
This was the first one.
It's the prototype.
It's the first one.
So if you are a patron at the $25 tier, you can get this sent to your house.
Yeah. Send us a message on Patreon.
You might even like get one of my hairs in it as a special treat, because if I'm sticking stuff down,
Matthews.
Yeah, you could clone me. So yeah, if you want one, and you're a patron already at the tier, or you're fancying one and you want to go on Patreon, just make sure you send us a little message on Patreon saying, "Give me that frame, please,"
and then send us your address.
And we'll send those out ASAP.
We're going to do it in batches. So if you want to file your interest now, then we will hopefully get you included in the first batch, and we will send them out as and when they're ready.
Got to pin Billy down, you know. He's such a busy man.
He's so busy. He's on so much content. He's always drafted in.
So busy.
Our website, by the way, is TripleJump. That's where you can find links to everything that we're doing: YouTube, Twitch, Discord, a Cameo if you want a message from us. Our shop is TripleJumpShop.com. I'm wearing merch today, and it's timely that I am, Ashton.
It's Black Friday this weekend. I think up until, is it Sunday?
Can't remember.
I think running through till Sunday, you can get merch at a discount. It's automatically applied at checkout. So if you fancy getting yourself some merch, or getting someone you know who loves the channel some Christmas presents from us, then you can do so by going to TripleJumpShop.com and cashing in on that Black Friday sale.
Yes, I believe it is 50% off all retro logo merch and 30% off everything else in the shop. And that will be applied automatically at checkout. You don't need to enter a code or anything. So TripleJumpShop.com, Patreon.com/Team TripleJump. Once again, without whom SMTJ Live would not have been possible. That's now up on the VODs channel.
Yes.
It went well.
It went really well. So shockingly well. We had a wonderful time. Everyone was very generous. So thank you so much for making that Saturday such a fun time for us all. You got covered in energy drink.
I did. It was disgusting.
And you were stinky.
It made my skin sting. My hands and my face were stinging afterwards. Yeah, got into because it's cold and you
healthy.
Yeah, your hands get like they crack. And they get sore.
Then suddenly it's got energy drink.
And it's got spicy drink in it. It was sugar free though, so I wasn't
He ran home so fast because he was like energized by its like.
I absorbed it through the skin. I had a massive spike in caffeine intake. And I had to go to hospital. I didn't actually, but I wasn't actually sticky because it's sugar free. Yeah, I just smelled weird. So
did the whole office feel like
the whole office smelled horrible. Yeah. I had to put a bin bag on each foot and then waddle through to the bathroom.
Ben said, "Can you all go upstairs because I'm going to take my clothes off in the studio and I don't want anyone to see."
Please don't see me. I am wearing a vest and pants and they are soaking wet.
Yeah.
And 2 bin bags to get to the bathroom. And then I went and ruined a towel.
Yeah.
Permanently
forever. I did that with the slime bath last year. Yeah. The towel went in the bin. Yeah. I was like, this is unsavourable.
I did wash it when I got home, obviously. I washed the walrus onesie, the towel, and the pair of pants and the vest that I was wearing. And the pants and the vest came out smelling okay. The towel and the onesie smell weird. Like, not good, but also not unclean.
Oh dear.
They smell a bit strange. So I'm going to bring the walrus onesie back in and just put it back in the cupboard.
Okay, good. So
and next time we take it out and have a sniff and we decide that might need another wash.
Yeah, okay.
But it smells strange.
Cool.
Just preparing you.
Right.
And my towel as well also smells a bit odd. Don't know why. I think maybe because it sat over the weekend
Yeah, Ben
in a
left it
pool
there
of
by
energy
accident,
drink.
and then
Yeah, very odd. So thank you everyone who voted for me to get covered in energy drink. That was awful.
Also,
hated that.
just a little something that got announced during SMTJ. We'll get to the podcast momentarily, I promise. Yeah. We announced it last year, but this year we showed it off. We've made a game. Well, we're making a game. It's currently in the process of being made. It's mostly finished. And we popped a trailer up during SMTJ, but we have a Steam page with even more pictures of what you can expect, the trailer, some more information about the story and what happens in it. You can go to TripleJump.mup/game video game to find out more and wishlist it if you fancy it. There's been loads of requests being like, hey, come to other platforms too. Let's try this first.
Jeez, we haven't even made one.
We don't even really know how to make... This took ages to figure out how to get it on Steam. So, look,
we'd have
maybe
to pay
eventually
a big lump sum to get it on other platforms. And that is, hey, let's see how well this one performs first. And then maybe funnel that money into getting it to other platforms. But Steam, to start with, it's happening. You can go wishlist it.
How exciting.
Kind of bonkers. And finally, Weirdest Games Ever is out this week for everybody. It is out right at the start, or next week, sorry. It's right at the start of, this week.
Yeah.
Sunday. Right at the start of December, which means that it's a Christmas episode.
It's a Christmas episode, which you can watch every day. And it's the first day of your advent calendar. You can open your chocolate and watch Weirdest Games. Dream.
Our treat to you. It's time for question 1.
But bloody time.
But bloody time. Kristen Osborne asks question 1 and says, Dear Bap,
Hi.
Microsoft recently announced its new Game Assist in-game browser. They cite research that 40% of PC gamers use guides and other help during play. What are your thoughts on this and the broader trend of games almost requiring you consult a guide? Do the presence of online resources actually give developers freedom to use more complex and difficult design elements? Thank you, Kristen. I've got a write-up here from Vicky Blake at Eurogamer. Microsoft is introducing and then there's a quote, a seamless, fully featured in-game browser to support gamers. Microsoft Edge Game Assist, currently available to try via an opt-in preview, is described as a rich gaming-centric browsing experience that lets you get help, track progress, listen to music, or chat with friends without taking you out of the game. Microsoft reckons 40% of PC players look up tips and guides whilst playing, and 88% use a browser whilst gaming to get help, which means we're forever interrupting our sessions by switching windows or monitors or grabbing our phones. Game Assist is a special version of Microsoft Edge that's optimized for PC gaming and can appear on top of your game in Game Bar, Microsoft explained. It's game aware and will suggest tips and guides for what you're playing. It also shares the same browser data with Edge on your PC, so the information you care about is always accessible while you play, including your favorites, history, cookies, form fills, and more. This means you don't need to log into sites again, and it's easy to get to what you care about. You can even quickly access your favorite services like Discord, Twitch, Spotify, or any other page or site in the sidebar. And like other Game Bar widgets, you can pin Game Assist above your game so you can reference a guide or watch a video while you play. So you can opt in now, although at the moment it only supports English and a selection of popular PC games, including Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Fortnite, Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga, League of Legends, Minecraft, Overwatch 2, Roblox, and Valorant. Well, it's on Edge, which means no one's going to use it.
Yeah.
So I
can't remember the last time I opened Edge intentionally.
I do it sometimes to check if a website loads on another browser or if it's just me having an issue.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I use Edge for. It's a nice idea.
Yeah.
I like the sound of it, but it is on Edge.
Yeah.
The fact they're saying, don't worry, you can use your history and cookies and stuff from Edge. No one's using Edge.
I don't use Edge, Microsoft.
No one's using Edge.
Sorry.
So that's not ideal.
Do you use, just in the concept of it, do you use the Sony one? Like the PlayStation inbuilt, tips and guides?
Well, that's what I was going to bring up, because I could have sworn that Sony talked up this feature for the PS5 before it launched. And then I've never really seen it implemented properly.
I get when I boot up a game that's like a PlayStation 5 or Sony exclusive game, it will say to me, tips and guides are available for this game.
Right.
And then I'll open like the bar at the bottom by pressing the PlayStation button, and it will have a little like tips and guides tab if I want to go in there and like find it. But I can't personally say I've ever used it, just because most of the time if I'm confused, it's just easier and simpler to get the answer I want by just simply Googling the thing that I'm looking for. Because if I was to ask, like, if I'm, I don't know, looking for for example, in Ghost of Tsushima, if I'm looking for a like, what's they called? A thing.
A reed thing you want to cut?
No. Well, yeah, or something like completely
little hot spring he goes into,
just
gets
like
his bum out.
Like a bit of thing you pick up. Like a bit of lore.
Collectible?
A collectible.
Right.
Well, that wasn't the word I was looking for, but we'll go with that.
A poem, a haiku.
Yeah, like a poem,
Sure. Yeah.
specifically in an area, and like my little thing's buzzing, telling me there's something nearby. How am I supposed to Google, or find out on PlayStation where the one specific thing near me is?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have like everything I could possibly need. And it's easier to Google, I'm in this location in the stable. What is the thing I'm looking for and where can I find it? And then like it will tell me, and sometimes I have to look for a little while, but I'll find it eventually.
Right.
But it is just one of those things where I feel like it's never going to be as seamless as just Googling it yourself. I don't often have to use guides. Like I don't find myself like spending a lot of time using guides. I suppose you're more likely to use a guide for like trophies and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember the last time I used a guide for trophies specifically, but it is usually collectibles, or I'm just looking up if there's a kill this enemy in a certain way.
Yeah.
And
or like where you can find those enemies.
Yeah, I'll go to a trophy guide. It'll tell me where to do that and potentially how to do it if it's more complex. But usually what I search for these days is things like, I was playing through Alan Wake 2's expansion, The Lake House, and I come across a safe or a PC that's got a code. And I'm like, I do not have the patience to go hunting around and piece together a code based on dates that are on calendars and things people have mentioned in other emails. So I'm just going to Google what is the answer to this. And most of the time, you don't even need to open the article.
Yeah.
It gives you a preview and you get the code right there, and then you can just crack on.
Yeah.
So that's usually what I use it for.
Yeah, I think like the last time, so I use the guides sometimes for like Disney Dreamlight Valley, specifically to find out like how to make specific meals, because people will ask for meals and I don't always have the recipes, and it's rather than trial and error, I'll just Google how to make it. And then last time I used a guide for like an in-game problem or like thing I was looking for was maybe Astrobot, when I was like, I can't find the hidden exit in the level. Like, where is it? Let me just Google a little thing to be like, it's over in that direction, then I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I definitely did it for Astrobot a couple of times.
But like, I understand that like guides are useful in a lot of ways, and I'm not saying that if you use a guide it makes you any less of a gamer or anything, but I do think that like if you are, so Kristen says, do you think that the use of guides gives developers more freedom to use more complex and difficult design elements? Yes, but I don't think it should. Like if your game can't be solved, like if you've got a basic like level to get through and someone can't get through it without using a guide, then that's a problem. Like if it's too difficult for the average person to figure out the puzzle they need to progress through the game, then that's a problem. If someone's using a guide to find a collectible or do a bonus thing or find a side like character or whatever, fair enough. Like if you've hidden it well, you've hidden it well. It's supposed to be difficult to find. But like if it's just a regular old puzzle or like map to get through, then if they have to use a guide, that's a design problem.
Yeah. Some games do genuinely just fail to effectively communicate what they want you to do, either because they're poorly made, or the whole point is that you've got to trial and error and work it out. Yeah. That's the whole purpose of the game. Or it's a puzzle game. You know, those are the main three culprits. Two of them more intentional than others. From Software games are a prime example of like, how the bloody hell do I proceed? Like, you need to buy this item from this vendor and go to this place and do this gesture, and that will get you through. Like, this stuff has been worked out by the community, but there's no bloody way you're going to know that unless you search it for yourself. Or perhaps more intentionally, maybe on behalf of the developers here, their intention was that the community would come together to solve this stuff, and you would talk to your friends and your friends would guide you through it, or you'd play with someone online and they'd show you how to do it, and then you know how to do it and you can share that on, and it's more of a community collaborative thing. But I find that most of the time, certainly from my own experience, the use of guides usually comes about because of user error. So either you're tired, you haven't paid attention, you've skipped some dialogue, you haven't paid attention to what was going on, you don't see the contextual clues that are there that other people have used to solve it, or probably 99% of the time, people are impatient and they just want to crack on. You know, they paid for this game. They want to play it how they want to play it. They want to get through to the next bit. They've been the sort of pace of their experience has ground to a halt. They've been there for like even just a couple of minutes can be enough to be like, oh God, I really can't be asked to poke around here and try and work out what I'm doing. So I'm just going to give it a quick Google and then I can carry on playing. I've got finite time in the day, that sort of thing. But I wouldn't necessarily imagine, apart from maybe From Software, there's a whole debate around that, obviously, that we've touched on in the past. I don't imagine any developers are counting on people using guides to get through their game. That's probably not the point.
Yeah, I mean, everything that this Game Assist kind of like brings to the table, I just don't super feel like it's like anything new or super useful, like Spotify and Discord. I don't know many people who use those via Edge. Like, if you're going to have Spotify, you're probably going to have the app installed, and Discord, you're going to have the app installed.
Functionality for game.
Like if I'm playing it on a PlayStation, not to like keep harking back, but obviously we're talking about Xbox here. They obviously don't have a PC like version of PlayStation, so that is a bit different. But you can access all the things, especially now that Discord's evolved. You can access Discord and Spotify and your game really easily through the bottom bar. And I know that that's probably useful for people who use Discord and Spotify through Edge. But unless I'm doing that, I'm just going to click out of the game, change the song, click back into the game. I watch movies all the time while I'm playing things like Disney Dreamlight Valley. And like, how are they going to be like, what's the problem? Like, why am I having to like use their software? I mean, I don't have to. I know that I'm being facetious, but like, it's an interesting thing to be like, people keep clicking away from our games. How can we fix this? People are going to do that anyway.
I don't know what the solution to people clicking out of games, I don't think is going to be a good one. Even this doesn't sound great. Pinning a guide over the top of your game. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Most people playing PC games, I would imagine, have a second monitor at least.
Yeah.
And that's where that stuff lives. Yeah, you have to Alt-Tab out to get over to it, but I would find that less intrusive than having an overlay that crowds up my screen.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't necessarily. I'd rather look over to a guide than have it pinned to the top.
And
the convenience is not lost in having to look over slightly.
And surely you're still going to have to type in the problem anyway, because it's not going to know when to give you the guide.
It said that it's clever enough to know the sort of areas that you are, but then that just sounds like the PS5 situation again, where it's going to give you vague hints based on the level. And it's Jesus, what on earth was that?
What the hell was that noise? That was really weird.
Sounded like the air vent on the side of the building just fell off.
I think it might have.
You reckon?
Well, I can see the light through it now, which I can't normally do.
Oh God, did the building just fall apart?
A little bit. It's real windy.
It's fine. It's probably fine. We'll go and check that out in a minute. But yeah, it sounds like it would just offer you vague stuff rather than the actual thing that you would like to know.
Yeah.
Which isn't helpful.
And if it's just like, is it going to offer you it after a certain time that it thinks you're stuck, and then it will tell you, like, how's it going to work? Mm-hmm. How is it smart enough to know when I need a guide and what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Unless it's listening to me.
Probably is. Edge. Bloody Edge.
You freaks.
Did it just get colder in here? Is that just me?
Probably because there's a hole in the building.
Because the vent
now.
just fell off. Yeah. Okay. Well, we should go check that out.
Well, while we go check that out, I think we should maybe try a new segment as well called What We Playin.
Oh, right. It's What We Playin time. Time to talk about the games what we've been playing. Peter,
he's not here. He's in Bath.
Ashton, what have you been playing, please?
I've played a few things this week. I've played some more Disney Dreamlight Valley, as per usual. I keep thinking maybe I'll buy the expansions, and then I'm like,
do it. How much
I don't know. I don't know. There's 3 now. I haven't actually looked into how much they are. I've not
What do they
paid
add?
for the game. I think they add like new characters and new areas to explore.
I thought it was doing free updates. Does it not do that anymore?
There's free updates like in the base game, but there is like 3 expansion DLCs that have new characters and locations and stuff. I don't super know how it works. Like they've just introduced one called Storybrook Vale.
Right.
That is like a whole new location with some new characters in it. But I've still got a few characters that I'm leveling up to get to like level 10. So I'm kind of putting it off until I've done that. Because every time I do that, by the time I come back to it, like after I've done it, they've added some new characters in. So I don't know if they're going to keep adding more characters in. Because the last time they did a DLC, they added in some characters at the same time, but they haven't done that this time. So I'm wondering if like I've reached max capacity in terms of characters that I can get in the base game.
If you enjoy it, and did you get it for free originally?
Well, it's on Xbox Game Pass still,
right.
But I haven't paid for it. So I'm wondering like if I pay for the expansion and then they take it off Game Pass, how that's going to work. Because I don't want to then have to pay for the game again.
You then might have to buy the game.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, I'm in an R in about it at the moment.
Depends how much the packs are.
Yeah, I should have really looked into it, but I kind of was just like, maybe I will, but maybe I'll wait until I've like maxed out all of the game stuff I'm doing right now. And then like once that's done, I'll consider it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet. So I'll let you know next week. Maybe I've waited for payday and then bought it. We'll see. The other thing I've played is Ghost of Tsushima. I'm into it now.
Yeah.
I'm in it. Yeah. I'm involved. I'm doing everything.
Nice.
I'm going to be plodded through that game for a long time, I think. But I'm having a great time. I've like just got the grappling hook. So that's fun now. And I really am enjoying it. I keep changing like my outfit and my hats to be like, I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a samurai.
Hiya!
Yeah.
Get dead.
I'm having a great time. I think it's a great game. And it just, I said last week, but it is just a beautiful game.
It is.
Like stunning.
It's lovely.
And the music's nice. Oh, it's a great game. I'm having a really lovely time.
Do you like the bath bits where he gets his bum out?
Yes, I do like.
They're good, aren't they?
He's got a very perky bottom.
Great bum.
I literally said to myself, Ben hasn't been here this week, and I've just been sat in like the house on my own. And he got like into the bath, and I went, "That is the perkiest bum I have ever seen." Just out loud to myself and no one else.
It's good. It's a
really
good bum.
It's a really good bum.
You look forward to it throughout the game for whenever you find one of those hot springs.
Yes, absolutely.
Great arse.
I also like that I can pet the foxes.
Yes.
That's nice. I like doing that. And the last thing I've played, and don't be mean, all right, everyone?
Well,
I've technically been playing Roblox.
Boo! What are you?
Specifically...
A 6-year-old?
Yeah, specifically Dressed to Impress. So I played it on stream yesterday, but I played a little bit during the day yesterday at work to make sure that I actually knew how to play it because I'd only watched videos and I didn't actually know how the controls were. So I played it for like 20 minutes just to figure out what I was doing. And then after the stream, I played it for like another hour and a half before I went to bed. I love playing dress-up games, okay? I love them. Love them. And
you won.
And I won a few times. Like, when I was playing it last night, I kept sending pictures to my boyfriend, being like, I'm on the podium again. And he was like...
But he was so proud.
He was like, cool. And I was like, these children do not know what's hitting them right now. They don't even know how to understand what I am achieving. And he was like, okay. Cool. And I was like, I've got to go to bed now because I have to go to work in the morning. So they have a chance to learn how to be better at the game. And I've played
Is that what they're teaching them at school, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I've played it for one day and I worry that I'm going to spend real money on it.
Oh, how do you spend real money on it?
You get to get the VIP.
For Dress to Impress?
Yeah.
So you can within Roblox, you can buy things
you buy Robux
within the games?
Yeah. So you buy Robux that you can then use to, and I haven't played Roblox since I was 12. So this is like things I'm learning at the moment. It looks way different than it did when I was playing it.
They got rid of the oof sound.
Yes. But also
Devastating.
The Dress to Impress models just look like solidly jaw-lined brat dolls rather than like the Roblox guys, for example.
That would have been better though.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, like you buy Robux, which I was like curious about how much it is. So for like 300 Robux, it's like £4.
I don't like that you've already done the research, considering you don't know how much Dreamlight Valley.
I was just like, how much could it be? And then it was like for a month of VIP, it's like 200 Robux.
This is going to be
so it's basically like £4.
What does VIP get you?
An extra room of clothes to pick from.
Oh, right. So do you,
And the
I don't even know how the
VIP
game
above your
works.
head.
Do you just randomly pick from the clothes you're
So
provided?
you're in a lobby, and the lobby has like a set amount of like clothes, and you can change your skin color and your hair and your face and your nails, and you can use like codes that launch every month to like unlock stuff, which I've discovered yesterday as well. And then like you get given a prompt, and everyone in the room is in the room together, and they have to pick from like there's an unlimited amount of clothes, and you can like layer stuff and pick different separate items for different like outfits. So you can pick like the sleeves of a dress and not the rest of the dress, for example. And then you have like 2 to 5 minutes depending on if it's a hard prompt, and then you do a fashion show, and then everyone votes on who they like the most, and then at the end it reveals like if you got on the podium.
Okay. And you got on the podium a few times.
I got on the podium a few times.
No big
I'm
deal.
pretty good at this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a bit into it. I'm a bit into it.
You will never live down
I
buying
know.
Robux.
I know. If I buy Robux, I don't think anyone in this office will speak to me again. I think it might be the end of my relationship. Like I genuinely, and I understand that, but
God, you just love the
God,
dress
I
up
really
games.
want to. Like, I can.
She's willing to risk it
I can
all
totally
for a
see-
second fictional room of
Literally,
clothes.
I can totally see why kids get like obsessed and always want Robux and like ask their parents for money for Roblox, because I've been playing it for like 3 hours, and I am immediately
All
like,
you can think about.
I need just.
You're going to go home and
I'm
play
like,
it?
it's £4.
You're going to go home and play it?
Maybe.
Because we got the joint stream later tonight, so we're
I
both
was
going
like-
home a little earlier than
Yeah,
usual.
I was like, oh, I'll go home and play Ghost of Tsushima. But then part of me is like, I'm a bit worried I'm going to go home and play Just to Impress. But if I'm playing it before like 4:00, there won't be any children on it.
There will be. Where do you think the children are?
At school. At school, they're at
In
school.
which time zone?
I don't know. It's really bad. Like
You're
I'm
already trying to rationalize where the kids
I know.
are.
I know. It's really bad. It's awful, and I don't know that, but
Don't buy Robux. Look, you can. I'm happy that you found a new game that you like, where you sometimes
Yeah.
beat children.
I can just tell it's like a
But
new
don't spend money on it.
hyperfixation that I'm developing. That I'm like, oh dear.
Just take the money that you would spend on Robux and spend it on an expansion for a game that you
But
know you
Robux
like.
are only £4, and the expansion's probably way more than £4.
We don't know that yet.
That's like just a meal deal. And I brought my own lunch today, so maybe I can just.
Stop. This is not. Look, you can't make cuts in other areas of your life to justify buying Robux. That's not
Okay.
it. We've spoken about your type in weird news before,
I know
where
we
they've
have.
lost everything because of microtransactions and stuff.
It's only £4.
Yeah, the first time. And the next time is £4 too. Whenever that comes, tomorrow, this evening. Just be careful.
You're right. I won't buy
You
them.
can get plenty of fun for free.
I just want you to know that even if I do buy Robux, I'm not going to tell anyone.
There'll be signs. You will stop eating lunches is one of them. So
Okay, well, that's all I've played this week.
okay. Well, I'll tell you my new free-to-play obsession.
Oh, yeah?
It's the Pokemon trading card game.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to talk about it last week. I have been doing my daily stuff. I've been doing some battles. I'm opening it
You
now
were
because I
playing it
haven't.
the other day, weren't you? Or you were showing... Oh, I forgot to mention the games we played this weekend. But
Yeah.
yeah, you were showing Alex or Peter, you were opening a pack.
Yeah, I'm going to
with
open a
them.
pack now. Should we see which cards I get?
Sure.
Because I haven't opened my pack for today.
Okay,
This
that's
is a game that
exciting.
I have actively avoided spending any money on, and I have no intention to do
I
so
haven't
either.
spent any money on it yet.
Well, but you're thinking about it though.
Yeah.
We got a Clobberpuss.
Okay.
Yeah, and
He's
then
fun.
there's a Golduck.
Cool.
Voltorb, that's pretty
Cool.
good. Golett, I've got so many of these buggers. And a Lilligant, and that was a bad pack because I have all of those cards
That wasn't
already.
very exciting.
It wasn't, was it? There were no shinies, and I can open another pack
the
later.
only one. You only get that one.
I get 2 a day,
Okay.
and I can open the other one later on, and it will tell me on my phone. It will say, you can open another pack now, and I'll stop whatever I'm
For
doing.
£3.99.
Even
you
if
could
I'm
open-
cycling, I'll pull over and I'll go, time to open my packs. I wonder what I've got inside.
Yeah.
So I've been enjoying that. It's a nice little thing just to have going in the background. I
Yeah.
still very much feel exactly the same way as I did when I spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, which is I know at some point I'm gonna literally one day will pass where I do not open my free packs and I'll go, that wasn't so bad, and then
Yeah.
delete the app.
My phone is filled with mobile games that I stopped playing
There's
one
a
day and
graveyard,
never
is
went
there?
back to playing.
Are they in a special folder, or are they
they're
just
scattered around my phone.
Chaos. Absolute chaos. So yeah, did that, and after SMTJ, we had an impromptu gathering.
We did,
which was so lovely because we haven't all gathered as a team for a long time. Unfortunately, Kat couldn't join us because she's in a different part of the country.
Yeah.
But we had Ciaran and James and Alex and you and Peter Austin and partners over to my house, and Pippa was there too, and she was thrilled.
She was hanging out with me. She kept sitting on my lap, and your girlfriend was getting very jealous.
Yeah, she doesn't sit on my girlfriend's lap.
I felt
very
bad
often.
About it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You were right next to the fire.
It is true. I did hog the fire.
There's that
well.
too. And we played a few things. You guys played some Mario Party, I think. Did you win?
No.
Cool.
James Jenkins won. And the
Did he rub it in your face?
Annoying thing about James Jenkins winning was that every time it was his turn, he'd wander off. So we'd have to go searching for him to come back to stop vaping in the kitchen, James Jenkins.
Oh, right. I'm physically wandering
he'd
off.
wander off. And we'd like, where's James? It's his go again.
He wasn't even asked, and he still won.
He still won. That's the most annoying thing about it.
Played some Jackbox as well.
We did.
Which was the Jackbox that we played?
We played Jackbox Survey Scramble, which was the new one, which me and MB really like. We think it's really fun, and we played it all together.
Yeah,
and we had quite a lot of fun with that one. Actually,
yeah, the grandma names one where you have to all guess grandma names, and it tells you, it ranks it on a list. The higher you get, the more points you get.
And there's like a noughts and crosses type one where you have to try and get within a field to get that square.
Yeah.
Then there was the Pong one.
Yeah,
which we were just going, put bone, because it was like things dogs think about. Yeah. And it was like, we were just trying to get
it was really fun. That was
it was good fun. And then we played the Naughty Pack. We played Faking It. And it didn't tell me I was the faker for like the final round where everyone gets 3 questions and you have to type in like the answers. And it didn't say, you're the faker, try and blend in. Here's your question. It just gave me a different question. So when the first question came up, I was like, this isn't the question I got. I'm a bit confused. Realized I was the faker, and I was like, uh-oh.
That's why.
Uh-oh. But I fully out loud went, what's a synonym, when I got my question. And then nobody else had the word synonym in any of their questions, and nobody questioned it. And I was like, oops, until and then we did all 3 questions. So I survived a bit. But then we played Dirty Drawful as well.
Yeah.
On that pack. And then we played TKO.
TKO was great.
And some Trivia Murder Party as well, which were the ones we really like. Yeah, with some absolute banger t-shirts coming from TKO.
Very good. One that that absolutely killed us all, and then it turned out that the design was a default one.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't submitted my drawing.
It was a drawing of a guy wearing like the 2008.
I don't even know that we can necessarily.
No, I don't know if we can, but
we can't say the caption.
They were like, this drawing's crazy, this is brilliant. And then like it was just the guy wearing like 2008 like glasses as if it was like going for New Year's. We're like, oh my God, who's done it? And nobody
had done it.
We were like, what? And then we realized
all of the joy out of the humor of it. Anyway, that was super fun. Lovely to have people over. It was really, really good. You
played something that night.
I played Garfield Kart Furious Racing. Yeah.
That was a real stinker. Huh?
It was so good though. People were getting really into it. So you guys have Mario Kart. We've got Garfield Kart over on the PS5. It is rubbish. It's so bare bones, and like we're playing it in 4-player split screen, which is the first time I've ever done that, which will not surprise you. I've never managed to find 4 people willing to play.
It was broken as.
It was. The overlay, like all the HUD, it was like artifacting, and there were like entire squares missing.
That's the word I was looking for earlier.
Oh, in Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, you find artifacts.
There we are. And sometimes when it would show the scoreboard at the end, one corner of the screen, depending like player 4's corner of the screen would just be on top of the scoreboard at the end. Absolutely broken.
Yeah.
The game ran fine, but it was just everything else that was overlaid was like busted. It didn't like 4 players playing it. But that was really fun. And there was some hype moments in it.
There was.
Where's the esports for Garfield?
There was a guy
Furious
called
Racing?
Harry. That you all had beef with because no one knew who Harry was.
Oh yeah, it was just a random cat in the Garfield like extended
cinematic
universe.
I
can't remember what the word is. Compendium? No. And he was just like, he was the elected like AI, I'm really good at racing this cup, and he was just storming off ahead of everyone. No one could catch up with him.
Yeah.
Piece of work.
Yeah.
That's Harry. So yeah, played that. Played some Lethal Company. Had a good time doing that. Had a bit of an issue, though, where the amount of money that was owed, we had way more than that, and then it still killed us anyway, and I wasn't really sure why, and that was a shame because we had like a disco ball in our spaceship and everything.
But did you turn the money in?
Yeah. Went there, gave him all our junk, made more money than we needed to give, and he was like, no, not enough. So I think the confusion was that it's not how much money you have, it's how much money you make in that period that needs to be over the amount. Even though we had more money than they wanted, it wasn't. You still
need to make sure that between the day where you turned the money in the last time and the next time, you've made that amount of money.
So we got turfed out into space, and that's
rough.
That was a real shame. Didn't enjoy that. Played some Minecraft, played some more Halo Reach, played some Black Ops Zombies. I really this week wanted to play some more single player stuff like Dragon Age that I've only played 3 hours of. But my house has been a non-stop revolving door, and whether it's the person that I bloody live with, or if it's you lot, or if it's family, I can't get a moment's peace to play any games that I want to play. And sometimes when I get in from work, like last night, I've just got a stinking headache and I go to bed at 8 p.m. because I'm tired and I want the headache to go away, and I've had no time to play any single player games. So hopefully I can play some Dragon Age. Oh wait, I can't because I'm going away this weekend. But I'm thinking about Dragon Age and how much I'd love to play more of it, but I simply have not had the time or the energy to do it. But soon, mark my words.
Didn't you say you played something on your PlayStation Portal this week, or did I make that up?
I did. I played Minecraft on my PlayStation Portal this week. Yeah, I did. And it did because I had someone playing Minecraft on the Xbox, someone playing Minecraft on the PS4, and there were only two TVs.
Only two TVs.
So I had the Portal with Minecraft running on it, and it ran dreadfully. And then I realized why afterwards, and it's because my PS5 was trying to connect to the Wi-Fi extender in the spare bedroom.
Right.
So that's why the connection. I just not set it up properly, so it wasn't like, even though it had an Ethernet plugged in, it was like I'm going to try and connect that one up there, and if it looks bad on your Portal, that's why.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize until after. But yeah, that's it. I've had a wonderful time playing games this week. I would love to play some more single player games when I get a moment, because there's just so much to play, and that is what I've been playing this week.
Well, now it's time to find out what's coming next month in this week's gaming forecast.
Ooh.
Can you believe it? It's the final month of 2024 already. The passage of time is passing at a speed I simply cannot keep up with. Anyway, games! We've got a few things to look forward to before this year comes to a close. Plus, Jeff Keighley's Big Night In, aka the Game Awards, takes place on December 12th. So without further ado, here is your December gaming forecast. If you, like me, used to while away your ICT lessons playing a variety of dress-up flash games on girlsgogames.com, but nowadays prefer to spend that time exploring the open worlds of modern games, then boy, oh boy, you're in for a treat on December 5th when Infinity Nikki launches. Headed up by a former Breath of the Wild dev, the game has you playing as Nikki, whom you can dress up in whatever outfit you see fit, and exploring the vast world of Mirrorland with your pal Momo and the myriad other little guys that inhabit the world. Explore the whimsically beautiful world, take pictures of your outfits, and or just sit, relax, and take in the vibes. Infinity Nikki launches on PlayStation 5, PC, and mobile. Do you like Overwatch, but wish the characters with the superheroes have been running rampant in our cinema screens for the last 10 years? Then may I present Marvel Rivals. The upcoming third-person hero shooter features 28 of your fave Marvel heroes like Storm, Thor, Hulk, and blockbuster superstar Jeff the Landshark. Pick your hero and battle in 6v6 combat across the currently confirmed 2 maps and 3 game modes. If you and your teammates pick the right combination of characters, you can make use of the dynamic hero synergy to be even more effective in Doctor Doom's, plural, multiverse combat arenas. Play on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series when it launches on December 6th. Next up, set in between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Bethesda and Machine Games' new action-adventure game.
Following the agile archaeologist in 1937, it's fascist punching season, as we attempt to stop the various groups who are seeking to harness the power of the Great Circle, a series of points across the world that connect to form a perfect circle. In both first and third person, we'll travel to numerous locations like Egypt, Thailand and Rome, using the signature whip to both traverse the landscape and take down baddies. There'll be puzzles, stealth, and all the Indiana Jones quips we could ever possibly want, voiced by the talented Troy Baker, naturally. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle launches onto PC and Xbox, including onto Game Pass, on December 9th. However, PlayStation users can hope to get their hands on it in spring 2025. Next up, coming on December 10th, is Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered, the upgraded version of the highly successful action-adventure series. With better graphics, new photo mode, updated camera and control options, and improved performance, this might be a great way to get a new generation of gamers into a 25-year-old story of Kain and Raziel. If you fancy exploring the world of Nosgoth as the Elder God intended, then you can toggle the upgraded graphics on and off, much like Aspire's recent remaster of the Tomb Raider trilogy. Dive into the vampire life when the game launches on PC, Switch, PlayStation and Xbox. Also launching on December 10th is a geometry puzzler Monument Valley 3, a game series all about geometry, perspective and beautiful colours. In Monument Valley 3, you'll help guide our protagonist through a series of small dreamlike dioramas, all with their own moving parts. If you're a fan of visually beautiful puzzle games, then why not check this series out? Though I will say it's not necessary to play the first 2 games in order to understand the new one, as it's a brand new story and protagonist. The other 2 are available to play on your phone for around £6 total, or for free on Netflix games. Monument Valley 3 launches on mobile and Netflix. With those games, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reacher's Rewind, JRPG Fantasian Neo Dimension, and the game to help us counteract all the food we're about to eat, Fitness Boxing 3, all launching, plus all the joy and laughter that the holiday season brings, it looks like we have plenty to look forward to until it's time to celebrate the new year. But for now, it's time to get back to the podcast.
It's time now for question 2.
What a great forecast. Thank you, Ashton.
Thank you, Ben. Lots to look forward to. Weirdly, nothing comes out past the 15th.
No one's, well, yeah.
No one's brave enough to tackle Christmas.
No one's brave enough to tackle Christmas, but also no one's brave enough to put a solid release date on a 2025 game, are they?
No.
Not yet.
Pretty much, yeah. This question
Oh, the question
comes from Connor Bennett. Hi, Babbers.
Hello.
Xbox announced on Tuesday that it is ending support for avatars in January, with Mii's fading from Nintendo's focus and PlayStation's swift killing of PlayStation Home. Will you miss these customizable personas, or are you glad none of them tried to use them as a gateway to the Scroogel-verse of NFTs?
Thank you, Connor.
For some context, Xbox announced this week that they are killing the Avatar editor app. You can still, I think, have the avatars, you just can't change them anymore.
So I looked into it.
Oh, right.
Right. And I think what's happening is from January, some point in January, you can still use your avatar as your profile photo as long as you have taken photos of the avatar by them. I believe the avatar functionality is gone
as
entirely.
of January 15th, I think.
Yes, but you can keep it as your customized profile photo.
If you took the picture.
If you take photos now.
Yeah.
So get it in different outfits, get your photos.
Yeah. But they're refunding anyone who bought anything for the avatar shop thing.
Since November 1st, 2023.
And they said that they were closing it because of no one was using it anymore.
Yeah.
Which is sad because I didn't even know I could use it. So now I feel like I'm an idiot.
Can you use it on PC?
You can't use it on PC.
Right, it's
you
an
can only
Xbox
use
thing.
it on Xbox.
Yeah.
So I'm never even going to get the opportunity to make an avatar.
It's cool. I like it. I made mine, and my girlfriend loves hers because she gave it a peg leg and a mustache, and she thinks that's really funny.
It's really funny.
And she loves that. And I sent this to her, and she was like, I'm going to write an angry email now because I think she was the only one who was still using it.
Yeah, she was the only. They were like, one person.
There's
keeps
one
using
person,
it.
And they keep putting mustaches on. It's
really
it's pretty funny, but it's weird.
Yeah.
I think it's a real shame because, they have not promoted this or used the avatars at all
in such a long time.
But I like it. I like it as an option. And realistically, how much upkeep is this really? Would this really take? Especially as it's a very inclusive avatar creator as well. There's lots of stuff for people with different disabilities and conditions and so on.
Yeah.
And I bet it felt very significant to feel represented in a creation suite like that you could then show off on your profile.
Yeah, I think that like a lot of the time people seem to look down on these kind of character creators or these like little persona things that you can make. Like at the time, people obviously were like, these Miis look goofy as, but at least you could spend time like making a little me that looked like you to play the games. And then like the Switch characters for like things like Switch Sports, kind of boring, kind of bland.
They can go Mario Kart as well, can't they?
Yeah, like they don't really give you any like personality.
It's such a weird creation suite on the Switch, and it's so hidden away.
Yeah, because you can have a Mii on the Switch, but you have to actively go out of your way to get one. But like things like this are such a shame because I think companies like this really undervalue what people like to do when it comes to like making characters that look like you or a goofy little guy that's like, this is my little gamer guy.
This is my goblin.
Like I love a character creator in games. Like I know that not everyone does, and some people find it really annoying.
That's weird.
But
those people are weird.
They are weird. But I think it's such a fun time to like make a character, either make one that looks like me or make one that looks nothing like me. But
do you want to see my Dragon Age Barbara Pierce?
I'd love to.
I took a while to make her as well. That's a very in-depth creation suite too.
Yeah. So the one for Borderlands, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, that was quite in-depth.
That was good too. I enjoyed that. I hope they bring that back for 4.
Yeah, me too. 4. But like, do you know what I think will never die? And if we miss these, we should just do that. Facebook Bitmojis.
Facebook Bitmojis.
Facebook Bitmojis.
Are those the things that all the
mums will be like, happy birthday, and it's like a little animated version of them.
It looks absolutely nothing like them.
Yeah, love those. I recently had to change mine. Wow, she looks awesome.
That's Barbara.
She's got some chiseled jawlines and cheekbones.
It's quite, well, that's it. She's got the nose and there she is. That's a different angle.
Wow.
I put a lot of work into that.
She does look really good.
I might show it off on stream at
some point. I think you should. But like, yeah, I do think it's, I love those. I recently had to go back and change one because my mum like made one that put my Bitmoji into the picture as well.
Like,
and I was
like,
who is that woman? And I was like, oh, that's me.
I like the
backwards cap on.
So cool.
And I was like, when did I do that? I've not worn hats since I was like 13.
It's so easy for me because I don't have to put a lot of effort into character creation suites at all.
But you can, and that's the fun.
Well, yeah, I can. That's true. But like specifically for that Bitmoji thing on Facebook, it looks terrible. Yeah. It never looks anything like anyone that it's meant to be.
But they're going to live forever.
They are going to live forever, but also, if I wanted to make one of myself, it would be really simple because it would just be a blonde guy with a beard. And it'd be like, that's Ben. There he is. Even if he has like brown eyes, that's Ben. There he is. Mm-hmm. But for a lot of other people, clearly, they either just can't do it or cannot be bothered to do it properly. Yeah. I don't know. I like PlayStation Home. I enjoyed that before it came out. Like, I think I enjoyed it more. What am I trying to say? I was very excited for PlayStation Home. Mm-hmm. And then it came out and my internet was so bad, I couldn't load anything or go anywhere. It took forever and I drifted away from it and I never really got into it as a platform. And I'd like to see something like that potentially return in the future, especially when there's so much, metaverse stuff being discussed at the moment. And that was basically Sony's version of that at the time with its own, marketplace and user base and so on and so forth, all the brand deals and the tie-ins and so on. Maybe we should make a video about that. Wink. But I don't know, like as long as it is kept away from the Scroogel NFT verse.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah,
unless
that's
it's
the thing.
Robux.
I don't want to pay for it, but I think representing yourself like that or giving an option to do that as part of a platform is so fun. Like the Wii proved it. Mm-hmm. People have been. It may not be a vocal majority, but people have been complaining about the fact that there hasn't been much of that functionality on the Switch. The fact Xbox had it was great, but they didn't do anything with it. Mm-hmm. And that was a shame. But the fact that they didn't do anything with it doesn't necessarily mean that it should never have existed. It's just, it's nice to have it as an option to put on your profile. Just have a little guy there who hangs out on your console, who just waves at you when you turn on your console. That's nice. It's maybe a bit daft, maybe give people the option to opt out, but I like it as an option.
Yeah.
I like it being there.
I also think like it's very telling that like if you get a Wii out right now, everyone's going to want to make a Mii before you play any game. Like we took a Wii to, I think it was Ciaran's Wii to Insomnia when we went a few months ago. And he was like, should we play Wii bowling? And instead of us just using the guys that are already there.
Yeah, we spent about an
hour. Everyone gets to make their own Mii, however they want to make it. It can look like you, or it can look like a little demon goblin from hell, if that's what you feel like. And we spent ages taking turns making the Miis just to play a round of bowling and get our asses kicked by Ciaran. But yeah, it's so much fun. And like, I just feel like we're losing a lot of like the personality that you can get from these kind of different things.
It certainly feels like a lot of the companies, Sony especially, having shut down Studio London and Xbox to an extent since they've given up on Kinect. Nintendo is still doing it, but like the dying off of first party games and mini game collections. We've got no SingStar, we've got no Buzz Quiz.
No.
Xbox had their various ones as well that I think your avatar could be involved in.
Yeah.
Nintendo are renowned for letting your little Mii guy show up in various things as well. And I just think that is the perfect place for those guys to show up and that functionality to be included. And while it may not be appealing to everyone to bust out SingStar or Buzz or whatever, if you do have family over, or it's Christmas or whatever, it's so cool to see them, your family represented in that way, and they don't have to pick from just some generic lineup.
Think the rise of successful games like Jackbox are just an example of like the people yearn for the mines. They yearn
love the
for the mini games.
They love the family games.
Yeah,
the party
if you can
games.
Sit a bunch of people in a room together and all play a game together. It's like such a good time, and there's so few games now, it feels like, where you can actively give that a go on like modern software, that it just feels like we're waiting for someone to bring out the next big party game. Obviously we had Super Mario Jamboree, but I personally would love another Mii Party or Wii Party, because I loved Wii Party when it came out.
Imagine you turn on your controllers, right? And you've got multiple controllers turned on and connected, and each one has to be assigned to a profile, not on Switch, but most other places. And when it's assigned to a profile, that person's little avatar then just sits on the dashboard with yours, and they like hang out on a little sofa until you're ready to play something. I don't know, just stuff like that. It's fun. It's nice. Yeah. It's cool. And then you don't forget that someone else is signed in your system, which I always do when people come over and I've got like 4 accounts logged in or whatever. Yeah, I think this is a shame. I understand if no one's using it, but again, how much could it really cost to keep this around? Especially as people have paid for stuff. Yeah. It's kind of messed up, man. The console's not gone yet. Leave it there, please.
Please.
Well, it's time for something a little bit... oh, God, can you smell that?
That's real stinky peculiar, if you asked me.
Hate that smell. It's time for weird news. It's weird news time for some weird video game news. Remember, you can submit some weird video game news to us under the relevant social media post that goes out on a Wednesday.
Except this week.
Except for this week, because the scheduling system broke.
Yeah.
However, if you'd like to guarantee a shout out at this point in the podcast, you need to go to patreon.com/Team TripleJump and support us at the appropriate tier, becoming a podcast producer in the process, just like
Chip Thompson's Thumbs,
Gabrielle Philippik,
GY Goliath,
Nexus Polaris,
Nicole Hansen,
Blake Thomas,
Janet Wicks,
David Cam,
Eric Siu,
Great Giggity,
Michael Pendlebury,
Katie Garrett,
and Big Money Bobby Vegas.
Thank you so much, podcast producers. We appreciate every single one of you. Unfortunately, the social media scheduler that we use failed to post the request for weird news this week.
Sometimes it'd just be like that.
So we have had to source our own. Although it looks like it was a pretty dry week for weird news. Because it's dry.
I got source themed weird news.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, but you would need source if it was dry, and it was dry. We had to. It was quite a hard week to find some weird news, so we saved you the hassle. Next week, though, get ready.
Speaking of sauce,
Speaking of sauce.
this comes from Nintendo Life by Jim Norman. Random! Kirby teams up with Heinz for a saucy new collaboration in Japan.
Beans?
There he is.
Oh, there he
holding
is.
a tomato.
That's nice.
Everyone's favourite pink puffball, Kirby's teaming up with Heinz.
That's my favourite pink
the tomato
puffball,
ketchup guys. He's our favourite. For a new range of sauces in Japan. Well, that's not a sentence we thought we'd be writing today, but we can't say we're surprised. Shared by the official Heinz Twitter account, the Kirby range will be launching in late November with 9 designs adorning the front of the packets even. There's even balsamic and sriracha flavoured options for those who like their chips with a bit of a kick.
Oh.
There he is with his tomatoes. The sauce that
He's
is not
got too many
loading the
tomatoes,
pictures.
really.
There's all the sauces.
Oh, yeah. So it's
It's
just...
got 9 different sauces.
But they all look
little
exactly
packet.
the same.
They
from
all look
this.
like baby food packets.
They do. They look like puree.
I don't know if that's how sauce comes in Japan.
Oh, weird.
Naturally, Kirby creator and Mr. Video Games himself, Masahiro Sakurai, was quick to chime in on the latest collaboration with a neat little fact. According to Sakurai, the sprite for the series' staple healing item, the Maxim Tomato, was designed to be perfectly symmetrical to save on valuable ROM space. Yet, in a complete coincidence, its English spelling is also symmetrical when written vertically. It's a slightly loose connection to the Heinz story, but hey, we'll never turn down a little nugget of Sakurai wisdom. Yeah,
So he's like, oh, there's some sauce. Oh, by the way, the
he
Sprite was meant so for...
Yeah, he quote tweeted the source post on Twitter and was like, hey guys, huge news.
Hey, guys, I'm about to make this about me now.
Yeah. As we said, it looks like this Heinz collaboration is going to be a Japanese exclusive for the time being. So if you'll excuse us, we're off to look longingly at our boring ketchup bottles while we dream of buying tickets to Tokyo.
Speak for yourself. I've still got some out-of-date tomato Ketchup in my cupboard. You remember
Whoa,
that?
yeah.
When Ed Sheeran was on the
Yeah.
tomato ketchup bottles.
Yeah.
I didn't realise for months. And then I took it out and I was like, Ketchup? Oh my God, it's got Ed Sheeran's face on it.
Ketchup?
Ketchup.
What's this? Some
couldn't-
knockoff
and they couldn't
ketchup.
come up with a better pun than Ketchup.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
I don't know. So I think it's 8 flavors of tomato ketchup with different Kirby's on them, so you can collect them all.
Right.
And then
never
there's
eat
a
them.
sriracha flavor and a balsamic ketchup flavor as well.
Weird.
I'm going to Japan next year. Maybe I should try and find some of it.
If there's any left.
Yeah.
You literally just have to, because they always, it feels like every week, these mad buggers are doing some limited time event at like every single restaurant and convenience store going, including fast food stuff. So you should just buy it all up when you're out there.
I'm gonna come back with a haul of just bits of gaming related.
You should.
Tats.
The gamer
I'm
noodles
like,
as well.
This is a Kirby themed ketchup, and this is a Mario pizza.
I'm never going to eat it. It's a collector's
It
item
will live
now.
in my freezer forever.
I've got some weird news.
I bet you have.
It's all right.
Copycat.
It's actually really lovely news.
Isn't it a bit sad
No,
if I'm thinking of the same thing?
you are thinking of the same thing, but it's
Okay.
lovely.
It's lovely.
It's weird in that someone got to play it early. But it's lovely in that someone got to play it early. Oh.
Okay.
You notice the tone
Yeah, I think
change in
you
my
should
voice?
just read
That's
it.
acting.
Yeah.
This is from PC Gamer and Andy Chalk. You going to finish it while Peter's not here? Do you remember? Brother of...
Charlie Chalk.
Very good. Who's Charlie Chalk?
I still
don't know. Terminally ill Borderlands fan says his trip to Gearbox to play Borderlands 4 was truly an amazing experience. Oh, that's
Aw.
nice. Caleb McAlpine, a terminally ill, die-hard Borderlands fan who asked in October for a chance to play Borderlands 4 while he still can, has confirmed on Reddit that Gearbox came through in a big way, saying his experience at the studio was just awesome.
I'm a bit sad.
Is it making you sad?
It makes me a bit sad.
But he had a lovely time.
Yeah, but he's terminally ill.
Yeah, but he
and
loves
he said,
Borderlands.
please can I play it while I still can? It's so sad.
Stop. I'm trying to share this lovely
Sorry,
story.
okay.
It's a lovely story.
Okay.
McAlpine said Gearbox put him and his friend up at the Omni Hotel at the Star, the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys NFL team. The hotel wanted to do something nice as well and got us in on a VIP tour of the entire facility, McAlpine wrote. Needless to say, me being a Lions fan, I got to talk a lot of smack, lol. you know what the Lions are?
I assume it's an NFL team.
What are Lions? I've never seen one. McAlpine's journey to see Borderlands 4 began in October when he asked the Borderlands 3 subreddit for help contacting Gearbox to ask if there was any way to make it happen. Redditors passed along his request to Gearbox chief Randy Pitchford, who quickly got in touch with McAlpine and said, "We're going to do whatever we can to make something happen." When I received an email from Randy, I couldn't believe it, McAlpine told.
It was full of balls. Sorry, carry on.
It's a lovely story.
I have to make myself laugh or I will cry. Carry on.
When I received an email from Randy, I couldn't believe it, McAlpine told Games Radar at the time. You've ruined it for me now.
Sorry.
It was awesome to see the CEO of Gearbox emailing me and telling me that he would do whatever he could to help me out. I was just floored, to be honest, in a good way. I never expected anything like this. It almost felt like a dream, to be honest. In his update, McAlpine also expressed his gratitude to everyone who helped get his request to the right people. I don't know if I'll be around when the game comes out, but I just want to say thank you to all of you for all of your love and support for helping in making this happen, he wrote. It truly was an amazing experience, and it was just awesome. Isn't that lovely?
It is lovely.
That's a lovely thing that the Gearbox did, and the community as well, rallying around him.
It's really nice.
Very nice.
And I'm only sad because it's nice. Like, it makes me sad because it's like, what a lovely thing.
It's a horrible situation for Caleb to be in, but it's lovely that this happened, and I'm happy for him.
It's like when, like, I watch a choir, like, I always cry because I'm like, they're all singing the same song at the same time. They're having such a lovely experience.
They're all friends.
Whereas I'm like, everybody help that man out. That's so nice. Everyone teamed up to help him.
It's lovely.
So I'm just having... That's why I had to make a joke, because otherwise I was going to cry, and that's not cute.
To be fair, Randy would do that as well. What you said. He absolutely would accidentally do that. But that's a lovely story. I appreciate it's not hugely weird, but as we said, it's a bit bloody dry this week for weird news. But happy for Caleb, and also looking forward to Borderlands 4 when we eventually get to give that a go. I wonder what it was that Caleb played.
Well, I feel like if he played some of it, then maybe like it's not that far off. They announced it now. We haven't got a date or anything. I'm not saying
next year.
I'm not thinking it's going to be like March, for example. But
we might find out at the Tagars.
We might
in a couple of weeks' time.
Jeff might tell us.
We've had Borderlands stuff there before, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they announce Borderlands 4 at the Summer Game Fest.
Oh yes, possibly.
So there's a good possibility that they'll talk about it again at the.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to know soon. But anyway,
Randy will be there in his jazziest suit.
He will, and he'll do close-up magic.
We can only hope.
You know what's bigger than close-up magic? Discussions. It's time for that one. It's big discussion time for the big video game discussion that this week comes courtesy of Curious Gregorius, who says, "Hello, lovely people."
Hello.
There are rumors that Sony is making a new standalone handheld. We have seen this before from Sony. They chase a trend and never support it, even if it is a brilliant design, talking about Vita and PSVR. Is this, once again, trend chasing, or is handheld gaming now the future of all gaming? Thank you very much, Curious Gregorius. This is a write-up on Push Square from Liam Croft. Sony is currently in the early stages of developing an all-new handheld PlayStation device that would allow users to play PS5 games on the go, a report from Bloomberg claims. Sources speaking to the outlet under anonymity said the device is likely years away from release and warned it may never actually make it to market. Working a lot like a Steam Deck, such a device would let you download and natively play PS5 titles either from a library tied to your existing PSN account or one you set up for the handheld system itself as a potential new customer. This would mark a change in approach from Sony when it comes to portable devices, as its previous efforts, the PSP and PS Vita, both had their own libraries of games designed specially for the consoles. The recent PS Portal device saw the firm return to the space in a sense, but it didn't go all the way, instead letting buyers stream their games over the internet rather than downloading them. This rumoured console would fulfill the latter. The product is aimed at expanding Sony's reach and contending with Nintendo for the portable gaming market, according to people familiar with its development, said Bloomberg. Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson has since said that Sony started working on a PS5 handheld shortly after the release of the PS Portal, which exceeded expectations. This information is pertinent because Henderson himself leaked the existence of the Remote Play handheld long before it was officially announced. It's safe to assume he has some sort of insight on Sony's plans. What do you think?
I think, yes, it is trend chasing. However, I also think, yes, it is a good thing and it makes complete sense. We've seen how well handheld devices can do with things like the Switch, and on PC, things like the Steam Deck and the many other Lenovo nonsense, Asus.
ROG,
The ROG Asus, all those kind of things. And we've seen the success that Xbox have had with cloud gaming on all the devices that you can cloud game on. And like they've said, they've seen how well the PlayStation Portal has done. And I think it makes complete sense to lean in to portable gaming. I think gaming obviously comes in it ebbs and flows in terms of what people want. We had Nintendo making loads of handhelds the same time that the Vita and everything was coming out. And then Nintendo making the Wii and that being very successful. And then also making the Switch and that being very successful. So we've seen how there is a change from what the general public want from their games. So I think that it makes complete sense for there to be a influx from both Sony and Microsoft into the space of handheld gaming, because people want games to be convenient now. Mm-hmm. People want the convenience of being able to pick up a game and play it wherever they want to play it, have access to the games that they have bought at the click of their fingers. We live in an age of convenience, yes. And if things are inconvenient, things struggle to be as successful as they could be. So I think that we're seeing a shift in the space regarding handheld games consoles. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a very interesting thing. And I think it will be very good to see how this shakes up the space. I don't think it's going to come for the Nintendo Switch. Mm-hmm. They have their own audience entirely. I don't think we're ever going to see whatever PlayStation's handheld will be crack into the market that the Switch gives us, because it's the games that sell the Switch. But it's I think it'd be great to see them. I just hope that they don't PSVR it and be like, we launched it.
It's your problem now. Buy it or
You're welcome.
Don't care.
Yeah, give it 6 months and we'll never talk about it again.
Yeah. That's the main concern, isn't it? I agree in that I think that this is trend chasing at the moment, but also I do think to a certain extent it is the future of gaming. I think Nintendo struck gold when it came to a hybrid system that could be played on the go and then HDMI'd to a TV.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's not particularly beefy. We don't yet know what the success is going to look like, but we do know that the Steam Deck in those circles is extremally popular and can run games and also has an HDMI out. We used your boyfriend's one when I had everyone over to play Jackbox, and it worked a treat. It was really good. I was very impressed by it.
Yeah.
And having a device like that, assuming there's an audience for it, which clearly they seem to think there is, based on the fact that apparently the PS Portal exceeded expectations, would be a good move. My main concern would be, yes, they might just abandon it after a short amount of time. But the other one, which seemingly is assuaged slightly in this write-up that I just read, is the fact that it wouldn't have a dedicated library of games. Yeah. If it was like the Vita or the PSP where it had a bespoke library of games that only ran on that system, I think then there might be some warning signs, because we've been down this road before. If it's a device that literally just plays PS5 games, or maybe even at the time PS6 games, then yeah, brilliant. Let people take their PlayStation journey, their PlayStation stuff with them when they journey about and go and do stuff.
I would be interested to see if they make it an entirely cloud streaming device, or if they make it so it's something that people can install games on. Because if it's something that people can install games on, and we're talking PlayStation 5, PS5 Pro games, that's going to have to be a beefy little device.
It is.
The Steam Deck is not small and it's not light.
Yeah.
And it runs most games pretty well, but there's still some games that it just can't run because it's a tiny portable computer. So I feel like it would have to be a beefy little device to run the PlayStation 5 games. And I know we're talking a console game, and I know a console game is very different to a PC game, but it's still you can't run a PlayStation 5 game on the Switch.
Yeah, we also don't want a Series S debacle where people are being forced to develop their games to run on this
with this other thing
this
in
PlayStation
mind.
Portable 2. There would need to be a solution there so the resources aren't, the resource demand isn't too heavy from developers, which might just put people off releasing games on the platform full stop. They've also probably got an inside look at this by releasing their games on PC and having them be Steam Deck verified. They've probably got a pretty good insight into the pipeline of how that works and how maybe this PlayStation Portable 2, whatever it is they end up calling it, isn't running on like a PS5 OS. It is running on like some sort of Android or Linux based system that while if it does install games natively, they might be PC versions of that game rather than PS5 versions of that game.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to make them run, even if it's of a slightly lower quality. And maybe you've got some AI wizardry in there, similar to what they're doing with the PS5 Pro that is upscaling things potentially as well. I think a hybrid system is very clever. I think that's a good idea. I also think based on our conversations about, the Portal and how that was patched recently to stream certain PS5 games through the cloud, if it'll be hybrid in the sense that it'll do both of those, or if it'll just lean towards one rather than the other.
Yeah.
Is it literally going to be your PS5 UI when you start it up, or is it going to be something more bespoke, even though it does just play PS5 library, the PS5 library? So
I think we'll also see like a conversation be had once Xbox reveal whatever handheld they're working on and what that can do. I think also, depending on which comes first, the chicken or the egg, how that will change what Sony's device might do. Like if Xbox basically create a cloud streaming device which you can't install games on, you can just cloud stream. I wonder if that will, and that does well or it doesn't do well. I wonder if that will be the change. I mean, we might see them kind of coming out around the same time, so this might all just be total nonsense. Yeah. But it would be interesting to see how a device that is entirely like built and designed for cloud gaming launches, and then how that's received. Because like I would consider buying a Portal now for cloud gaming if I was traveling around a lot, which I am not at the moment. So I do think it's an interesting discussion to be had with them two companies launching things very similar at probably roughly around the same time frame. So
yeah, I've got a poll here that Push Square put out that's quite interesting, and admittedly, it is a captive audience of PlayStation enthusiasts, so this doesn't necessarily represent a wider spectrum of people. But how much would you be willing to pay for a Steam Deck like portable PlayStation?
So we're talking runs the games natively.
Sounds like it, yeah. Only 13% of people said that they're not interested in the device at all. 3% of people said less than $199, and that is dream on. That's never going to happen. 10% said $200 to $299. How much is the Steam Deck?
Let me Google it. They've just released a white one that's probably really expensive, but let me see how much it is.
26% of people said $300 to $399, so that seems like potentially the sweet spot. One thing you have to bear in mind here is that this would be, for all intents and purposes, a standalone system. You don't need a PS5 to use it.
Yeah.
You could just play it on its own.
So obviously it's Black Friday, so these prices are a little bit skewed. But a non-OLED Steam Deck with 512 gigabytes is £510.
Okay.
The OLED version is £669.
Right. Okay.
So it's not cheap.
No, it's
You're
not.
buying a
PC.
console. Yeah.
24% of people said $400 to $499. 15% said $500 to $599. 4% said $600 to $699, which, I mean, given the price of the PS5 Pro, might actually be more realistic if you want this shiny thing that is a hybrid system. And 6% of people said more than $700.
Is this how much you think it's going to cost? How much you'd like?
How
it
much
to
you
cost?
would like to? How
Why
much
would you ever pick you'd like it to pay $700?
Well, I don't know. It's willing. How much would you be willing to pay? So I think a lot of people seemingly are between the 300 and 600 mark, which is probably about where it's going to land.
Realistically, yeah, we're going to see it.
But who knows?
But again, it depends on what it does.
And we might be on the PS6 by then.
Yeah, that's true.
But even if they release a dedicated PS5 device, I think that would maybe still do quite well, even if it doesn't run PS6 games. We have no idea what the industry is going to look like in a few years' time.
I think the price will entirely depend on what kind of device it is. If it's just a cloud streaming device, we might see it £300, which is a good alternative to buying a PlayStation if you can, plumb it in. Yeah. But if it's like a full, will run the games, you can install it natively, Steam Deck competitor, if you will, it's not even a chance in hell it will be less than £600.
Yeah, and that might be where it struggles, because the PSP, and to a lesser extent the Vita, did so well because they were priced at the price that they were, but it wasn't as much as a home console. And I think that's where they won out. But that's because it wasn't trying to fit a flipping PS4 inside a handheld device. You know, that was the whole reason. But then it runs into the other issue that we've already spoken about, having a bespoke library, and how Sony will just give up on that when they don't sell 5 kajillion units.
And we saw the issues that we had with the PlayStation VR 2 in that cost £500 to buy, plus you also had to have a £500 console. So like, obviously, I'm sure if you buy this handheld device, you're not also going to have a PlayStation 5, unlike the Portal, where you can't just buy the Portal, because if you've not got a PlayStation 5 to link it up to, it's useless. Apart from now, it's not, But yeah, we'll see. I think we'll see how this is years off. I don't think we'll hear anything more about this for a few years at this point. This is just, we're working on it. It may never even happen, but I think it does go to show, like, the fact that this has come out a week after Xbox, I think it goes to say a lot about what the giants are thinking about the future of gaming and where it's headed. I don't think they're far off either in terms of the convenience and the hybrid functionality. We just need to get that form factor down and that price down. That's going to be the real killer. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We will see you very soon. Next week, in fact. There's a few places around the internet that you can find us. There is a few places to
Ashton's
find
going to
us.
tell you 3 of them right now.
YouTube and Twitch. We're youtube.com and twitch.tv/Team TripleJump. All of our videos are on YouTube, and most of our streams are on Twitch. Apart from this week, we're doing a sleepover stream, so that will be on YouTube. A special one every month, and SM2J is obviously on YouTube, so make sure you're following both. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can get a free Twitch sub with your Amazon Prime subscription. So why not spend it on us? Please. No extra cost, and you get all the benefits of being a subscriber.
Thank you. And Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, on all of which we are Team TripleJump, at Team TripleJump, depending on which of those you follow. Patreon.com/Team TripleJump. That's where you can find all of our cool stuff, and you can become a cool person. Come check it out. You can get one of these if you want it. Got to ask for it. We're not telepathic. We need to know that you want one. And we should also say this is available to new and old patrons. So even if you've had the t-shirt, you can have that. If you've had the t-shirt before, you can get this too. Just ask and we will get it to you. TripleJump is our website. And why not leave a 5-star review on your platform of choice? It helps. Something to do with Al Gore's rhythms. Thank you so much in advance. We appreciate you all. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you next time. But before that... We've got to talk about the ad again. You forgot me. Yeah, I got a bit lost. It's okay. If you didn't sign up to the beta for Infinity Nikki, bad news. You're on the beta for Infinity Sticky, the world's uncoziest open world game ever. Horrid. Right, now we'll see you next time. Bye.